So, let me focus. Get this focus. All right, you guys. So I decided to do this last stream before I call it a night. So, at the end of the day, thank you to all the supporters and everything. But I wanted to talk about possibly Team Davis game plan for basically Devin Haney. And I'm going to say it now that Team Haney needs to stand strong, stand solid, you know what I'm saying? Stay 10 toes down and not take basically a fake ass famous Amos nigga deal that, Tank them may try to offer them, because they're going to try to control everything from the weight and everything, the money. And Devin Haney is far more established than Ryan Garcia is. So Devin Haney does not have to basically take a Kuta Kinte deal from the PBC and, Team Davis. No, they shouldn't, and they don't have to. So, with that being said, let's begin. All right, so I saw an interview a few hours ago with, Coach Calvin. Basically he was talking to some media outlet. I don't know who it was. I'm not going to play any audio, but I'm going to tell you what was said and what he was alluding to. And he was basically saying, well, be patient. This is going to happen. The fight's going to happen. They're not fighting. They're not fighting Devin Haney next. Because you know what they're going to say? Well, Tank hasn't fought since, April. So, it will, even if they was to make the fight, it'll be a year since Tank been out the ring, and somebody of Devin's caliber, they need to at least get a tune-up fight in and all this kind of stuff. They're not fighting Devin Haney next. You can pretty much book it. It's cap. I promise you that's going to happen. Now, if they elect to fight Devin Haney next, I will be surprised, and I'll come right back and say that I was wrong, but they're not fighting Devin Haney next. We already know how the PBC roll, but Calvin Ford said something that bothers me a lot, and I see this in particularly among the community with Black people. We're going back in the same, you know what I'm saying, stalemate, the same BS we had pertaining to Spence versus Crawford. So now what you're going to have is the new version, where you're going to have the Tank Davis fans trying to negotiate and all this kind of stuff. And I've been seeing some videos that's been getting put out by, one Ellie Setback. I'm going to speak on Ellie Setback's trolling. And I'm going to basically drop a gem, and I'm going to give you guys a clue of something that I believe possibly could have been done or orchestrated. But with that being said, I heard Calvin Ford basically, doing this interview with this person saying, well, Tank is a 135 fighter, and whoever wants to fight Tank basically, need to do this and need to do that. And basically they won't be no 30 million. They basically saying they're not going to pay Devin Haney what they paid Ryan Garcia, or should I say the PBC. But isn't this the PBC's history? Not wanting to pay brothers and trying to devalue brothers versus, breaking the bank for these non-Black fighters. Broke the bank for Conor McGregor, broke the bank for Ryan Garcia. And from what I was told, Team Haney said, give us basically the same deal you gave Ryan Garcia, but they want to try to lowball a former undisputed champion. But then you are the same niggas that come making these videos trying to call people coons and stuff if they criticize the PBC antics and the stuff that they do pertaining to how they treat other Black fighters and Black media. But you want to try to play the Hotep power to the people card. You guys are clowns. I'm talking about straight bozos. And this is why people don't take black people serious and why they laugh at us. So here they are trying to already have it in place to where they can try to lowball Team Haney and basically stipulate them to death. You know, at the end of the day, I thought he called himself Tank. I mean, you have the name Tank, and what do a tank supposed to do? Penetrate. You know, launch missiles and all that kind of stuff. Supposed to be a weapon of destruction, not mass destruction, but a weapon of destruction that can cause major damage. If Devin Haney is just light punching, you know what I'm saying, dude that have no power, have no chin, well, why are you worried about the weight? Why are you complaining about the weight? Why are you accusing him of being on performance enhancing drugs and bringing up snack when snack has been in use for years? You didn't have no problem with snack when, you know, Mario Barrios used it. So now all of a sudden you got a problem. Oh, okay. So the Mexican dude is clean, but the black dude isn't. Listen, I'm just one of these dudes that's not finna be politically correct because the PBC don't mess with me anyway. They don't credential me. I told you what they did to me to, you know, going into the Benavides Boo Boo Andrade fight. So I have no reason to bite my tongue and tread lightly because I have to worry about the PBC not wanting to credential me. They don't credential me anyway. So why should I care? Why should I hold back? That ain't, like I said before, if Devin Haney is this light punching dude with no chin, which I don't know where this came from anyway. Devin Haney ain't been put on his ass. It's funny how these people keep bringing up the George Linares fight, but George Linares is a decent puncher. And keep in mind, he floored Lomachenko, a guy that Devin Haney went on to beat. Guys get rocked. Guys get hurt, but Devin shook it off. So I think it's misleading to say he ain't got no chin. They said this about Terrence Crawford. You know, he got rocked by Gamboa and he shook it off. Now, you can make an argument about the Mean Machine fight, whether he got dropped or not. Me, myself, I thought he got dropped, but it don't matter. Unofficially, it looked to me as he got dropped. But what happened? Terrence Crawford got right up and whooped dude's ass and stopped him. I think sometimes these dudes be pushing false narratives because they may favor one guy over another. But this is what I've been saying about the PBC and their antics. Like I said before, people try to play this power to the people pro-black shit, but then they don't really back it up. They sometimes with it. Anybody that criticized the PBC and some of their antics and tactics, then you have these fake pro-black niggas that'll come on your channel and try to insinuate you a sellout or make videos insinuating that you a sellout for criticizing the PBC. But if the PBC is dogging out black fighters, dogging out black media, and letting black media be dogged out and pushing some of their black fighters to the back burner, and you got people like me speaking out on it, and I'm getting criticized for calling them out, you might need to reevaluate who's the real coon. Okay? You really should. You need to really evaluate who's the real coon. But this is what they do. It ain't just, and let's just really be truthful here. It ain't just Mexicans and white people that were pushing the notion that black versus black fighters couldn't sell. It was actually a black fighter himself, Floyd Mayweather. He never flat out said it, but he was doing it. It was obvious. But then again, I believe Floyd believed that he couldn't beat some of those black fighters. And then the thing is, why do you support the PBC so much and Floyd Mayweather, who's insulted black people on a regular basis? Floyd say he is the PBC and Al Haymon is his business partner, which that's debatable on whether Floyd owns a percentage of the PBC. Maybe he do, maybe he don't. But if he does, well, this is the same Floyd Mayweather. You know, I support Floyd Mayweather as a fighter, but as a person, how many times have Floyd like disrespected the black community? This is the same nigga that said that Mexicans helped get him where he was, buying his fights and buying his gear. So no black people paid for Floyd's pay-per-views. He sat up there and spat on in black people's face. So black people wasn't ordering your fights. Black people wasn't buying your gear. And then the same Mexicans that you be sucking up to then called you every name but a child of God, was praying that you lose, was calling you all kind of names, from the N-word with the ER to a mayate. But then the ones you want to ride for, but then again, that's the black community for you. That really kind of, you can make argument, really don't exist. The black community will ride for everybody except black people themselves. They will defend everybody except black people themselves. They will excuse any actions enacted on black people from other people, but then they try to lay down the law and they want to go hard on black people. Cowards. I said it. Real talk. But at the end of the day, no, Team Haney should hold the fort. They shouldn't want to be so desperate. They already had to take one of them deals for the Kambosos fight. But then again, that's your black community for you. They don't want to give Devin Haney a handsome payday, but they want to give Ryan Garcia a non-black who really never achieved anything as a professional boxer except having millions of social media followers. Never won a belt, an actual belt in his life. Had a mediocre resume, and that's being nice. But he got the fight, Tank, and he made a boatload of money. But Devin Haney and Tank probably could do more than Ryan Garcia versus Tank. But yet, all of a sudden, they can't find the bank for Devin Haney. But like I said, that's your community for you. That's your guy, Al Haymon, that you guys always be sitting up supporting. See, I'm just being truthful now. I'm putting the media stuff aside now. I'm talking as a real person, as a real fan, and I'm talking as a consumer now. You guys don't really want to have these kind of conversations. You guys, like I said, you guys are part of the problem too. The ones that turn a blind eye to everything the PBC do. Everything that Al Haymon do, how he missed, like I said, Gary Russell Jr. ain't fought in 2 years. Steve Fulton don't know when he gonna fight again because he basically went against Al Haymon and went through with the in a new fight, which he should have. That was a $3 million payday, $3 million plus of a payday. And you really tried to stop that dude from making that kind of money at one time, where you basically was going to try to spread him out with these in-house fighters and probably paying him not even half of what he made versus anyway, it was a no-brainer. And I give him credit for standing up to Al Haymon, but also standing up to Al Haymon comes with a price. Y'all sit up here and holler all this stuff about what Bob Arum do and how bad Bob Arum is and how all these other promoters is, Golden Boy, Eddie Hearn, but then again, Al Haymon just as bad. But you guys don't say nothing. You say absolutely nothing. And what do you get out of it? Al Haymon won't give you guys the time of the day. He don't care about y'all. He don't care about the black community. The only color he see is this green right here. Money. He don't see color. Because if he cared about color, he wouldn't be pushing all his black fighters to the back burner where he have a select chosen few just to keep people off his back. Yeah, he'll put a few, few of his fighters, the ones that look like us, put them on cards. But what about the rest of them that get pushed to the back burner for Hispanic fighters? And I'm not, and it's some truth to what Bill was saying, a lot of truth. They built a marketing machine with Tank fighting pretty much non-black fighters or non-American born black fighters. If you want to play the Afro-Latino card, but Gamboa ain't no African-American, born fighter. Neither is Garcia. Rolly, his mother's black, but his father is Hispanic. And he has a Hispanic name. So that falls in the category of Hispanic, even though Rolly considers himself black. I've talked to Rolly on camera and off camera. Rolly considers himself black. So I really don't have no problem when he, outs the N-word and all that stuff. I really don't get that uptight about it because he does have a black mother. I've seen her. I've met her. Okay. But this is the PBC moniker. But like I said, when people point this stuff out, you guys don't want to say nothing. But then you guys come for me. You guys get mad at me. You trying to insinuate I'm a sellout. When all I want is for these brothers to get paid fairly and get treated fairly, even if they ain't with the PBC. But here we go again. Tank coming with already plotting these stipulations. Coach Calvin Ford talked about, they should take what they give. So basically, they gonna try to lowball Devin Haney. And Bill, if you listening, do not take no fake ass famous Amos nigga deal. If they don't want to pay you what you think you worth, then move on. Continue to kick ass and dominate and look good doing it. And then eventually, when Tank run out of these PBC in-house fighters to fight, he ain't gonna have no choice but to come to the negotiating table and give you a fair deal. Wait it out. At the end of the day, the difference between you and Terrence Crawford, Devin is in his mid-20s, 25 years old. So he got some time. Tank, on the other hand, is 29. Now you have to wonder, is the clock going, speed up on him the moment he hits 30 like it did with Amir Khan? Or can he continue to fight at the high level he fights at? But at the end of the day, it appears that they saw something that bothered them to the point to where they already putting in play that they're going to try to stipulate. So basically, they're going to try to ask Devin to either fight at some catch weight, because he keeps saying, Tank is a 135-pound fighter. We ain't talking about Floyd. Let's leave Floyd out of the equation as far as that stuff go. Tank already then fought at 140. He fought Mario Barrios, who was bigger than him, taller than him. I think what happened was due to the fact that Tank is a southpaw, and he saw how Devin Haney was just efficiently sound on defense and offense. And he saw how Regis couldn't touch him. Now, keep in mind, Tank is more skillful than Regis. But at the end of the day, he probably wondered, like, well, damn. And then you seen these worthless ass cornballs making these videos crying about Devin Haney rehydrating 25 pounds. But my thing is, do you care about Canelo? Y'all don't. That's the thing about y'all black people. Y'all fake ho-tip pro-black niggas. Y'all don't never call out Canelo for his antics. Y'all don't never say nothing about the WBC, how they just change their mind at the drop of a dime when it comes to Canelo. How this man is allowed to fight whenever he wants to, make up his own weight class, basically decides pretty much everything. No, I don't want to fight David Benavidez. You saw what Mauricio Sullivan said to me when just a few weeks prior said, hey, we're going to demand that Canelo fights David Benavidez or he's going to be stripped. Now come to find out that Canelo had a meeting with Al Haymon on Monday to decide what the next move is going to be. And I already know what that next move going to be. In all likelihood, Canelo's next opponent is probably going to be Jermall Charlo. Because if he fights Jaime Munguia instead of David Benavidez in May, Canelo looks like a liar. Now, I don't want to get into the tribalism thing, but this is something that came out of Canelo's mouth. He the one that said he don't see himself fighting any more Mexicans. Well, Jaime Munguia is flat out Mexican. That wouldn't make any kind of sense. And nobody spoke about that too. About a potential fight with Jaime Munguia and Canelo. That wouldn't make any kind of sense. Canelo would come across as a flat out hypocrite. No, I ain't even going to say a hypocrite. He'd come across as a flat out liar. He is on video, audio and video, saying he don't see himself fighting any more Mexicans. He don't want to fight any more Mexicans. But now you hearing about a possible fight with Jaime Munguia, who's Mexican, but you won't fight the Mexican monster? Canelo would look like a liar. Hey, appreciate you, man. Appreciate you, man. East Oakland, the murder. Anyway, appreciate you. But yeah, that's basically what I'm saying. Man, it's the next day in Australia, man. It's already Friday. So it's like, man. But yeah, man. If Canelo pull that, that'll be the biggest hoe move ever. And people got to just start calling this stuff out. But the thing is, with a lot of these media dudes, and I found myself sometimes being in that predicament where sometimes I feel like I have to hold back a little bit because at the end of the day, I am a media member. I'm a credentialed media member. But at the end of the day, for the most part, ain't nobody put a muzzle on me. Top rank ain't never put a muzzle on me. And y'all know I done ripped Lomachenko to shreds. I ain't got no call from them. Hey, man, you can't be saying this about, so-and-so is mad at you. He don't want you at his fight. But that's what them PBC niggas do. That's what the black fighters do. You say one thing they don't like. They calling Al Haymon. Then Al Haymon calls Kelly Swanson. And then Magna Media. And then they say, hey, don't let this dude in. Oh, he can't come in. Don't credential him. This is what they do. This is your brother. This is your black brother, Al Haymon. But y'all don't say nothing. Y'all don't have that same energy. Y'all never had that same energy. But y'all want to sit up here and question somebody's blackness. Just like that cornball Fred. I mean, for real, man. Fred is, man, you have no idea how fake Fred, how barber bitch conversations is. I mean, that dude is the effing fake. Most disingenuous person I ever seen in my life. But cool, dude. Stick to coaching your basketball games and you know what I'm saying? And keep your fake black white ass and those gated communities by the real community that you really feel comfortable being around, which is not us. You couldn't handle it. So, there you have it. But yeah, just listening to that video, it was just sickening to hear Calvin Ford say, okay, they plotting already. Oh man, Tank is a 135 pounder and you just need to take whatever we give you and all this kind of stuff. This kind of remind me in my trapping days every once in a while, man. And I'm sure y'all can relate to this. This is why sometimes when you would buy, work from, like I would use mostly the same dudes. I had 3 particular dudes that I use to get work from, and y'all know what type of work I'm talking about. I had a Mexican plug and two black plugs. The Mexican plug always was cool. the one of the black plugs was always cool. But it was always one. Every once in a while, he'd try to short me on a half a gram, and he'd try, and I'll try to weigh it, and he'd be trying to make it look like the scale was correct, and it wasn't. You always get that kind of stuff. And then he's the same dude to say, man, you need to buy from you need to buy from us, man. Stuff, don't go to them white boys in the suburbs, no, or don't go to the Mexicans. But yeah, but the Mexicans do right by me, though. That's what I'm saying, though. That's what I'm saying. And I'm sure a lot of y'all know what I'm talking about. So I'm just saying, in the black dude I used to deal with, you know what I'm saying? You know, he used to do right. But the one dude, that other dude, that's why he would be my last choice. If I couldn't find the other two plugs, I'd go to him. But he would try it. So black people have this thing. Black people have this thing in their head that's cemented in their head where they feel like they have to always try to get over. A lot of times, black businesses don't work because of black people. When you open in a business, a lot of times the suppliers like try to overcharge you anyway. There have been instances where they had the suppliers that try to overcharge. I'll give you an instance. If you from the Bay Area, you might happen to know what happened with the barbecue franchise, Everett and Jones. They had a spot in the Oakland Coliseum. I don't know if it's still there. But what happened was they ended up suing the Coliseum because the Coliseum was trying to charge them higher booth rent than they was doing everybody else. So for their spot, they was trying to charge them more than what they was charging the other vendors. And they found out about it and they sued them. I mean, I wouldn't know because I haven't been to the Coliseum. I haven't been to the Oakland Coliseum in forever. I haven't been to the Coliseum in probably, man, I haven't been to an A's game in a while. I haven't been to an A's game, I think, since Jason Giambi was playing. But there you have it. So, I'm just saying. So a lot of times, it be black people trying to get over on other black people. And I hate to say this, and a lot of times we run away from this conversation, but a lot of stuff that happen to black people is because of other black people. Whether you like it or not, I could be truthful with that. And now I see what they trying to do to Devin Haney. I see what they trying to do to Devin Haney. They trying to basically put it in place to where they can give Devin Haney a low ball offer. And then for them to try to minimize and try to devalue Devin Haney selling out a brand new state-of-the-art arena. I said, well, it should be sold out if you got $57 ticket. Well, if that's the case, how come Teofimo didn't sell out Madison Square Garden when he fought Sandor Martin? I think Teofimo Lopez sold under 10,000 tickets. His tickets was relatively cheap, so it ain't that easy to sell out. So to just hear Tank even post that weak shit, because it was weak, to try to minimize somebody selling out, man, come on, man. Once again, Errol Spence couldn't sell out Cowboy Stadium. He couldn't even get 40,000 people to buy tickets, and they were selling tickets between $35 and $45 at Cowboy Stadium. At the very least, he should have had at least 60,000 people up in there. He only had I think he had 37,000 people in there, but I know for a fact that they comped at least 4,000 tickets. But at the end of the day, you still got 30,000 people to come see you at Cowboy Stadium, but they were selling them tickets for dirt cheap. How come Tank don't talk about nobody else's ticket sales? How come he ain't talking about how Ryan Garcia's last fight didn't sell out? How come he ain't talking about how Jamel Charlo's, who fought at the Home Depot Center, where they basically had to beg people, where they basically told people to just go find a seat and they could sit wherever they want pretty much. How come he ain't talked about that? See, that's what I'm saying. You want to sit up there and try to demean. Listen, if you hesitant to fight the dude, if you have reservations about fighting the dude, just, you know what I'm saying? Just say so. But people making excuses about Devin Haney blowing up and well, like I said before, that happens. At the end of the day, at the end of the day, he was contractually obligated to make 140. He made 140. Doesn't matter what he blows up to. Regis Prograde rehydrated 18 pounds. So now you got all these, oh, Devin Haney's a weight bully. Oh, Devin Haney should do this. He need to go fight Boots. He need to go do no, 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 no. He needs to fight the guy that we've been wanting him to fight for the last couple of years, which is Tank Davis. And this is why some people don't rally behind Tank neither, because they look at his resume. And now, based off some of the antics that he's pulling, he's starting to look, real suspect. And like I said, at the end of the day, you sitting up here talking about how much somebody's selling their tickets for. Ain't you supposed to be from the hood? I thought the idea is to, get people to make stuff affordable for families. So you think that's cool that somebody got to fork out $10,000 or whatever to see you fight mediocre competition? Say what you want to say, man. Oh, really? 75. Well, thank you, man. I mean, thank you, man. Appreciate that information, but that proves my point. And Tank act like he been fighting in arenas for the last 10 years. Just in 2019, he was fighting at the Home Depot Center himself. I mean, come on, man, or whatever they call that stadium. So let's just keep it a buck. Like I keep saying, if Devin Haney is this light punching, you know what I'm saying, fragile chin fighter, well, why you ain't sending him a contract? Why are you sitting up talking about he need to take what they listen? They showing me that they don't want this fight. Not right now it is. They don't want this fight. I mean, people can talk a good game, but at the end of the day, they don't have me fooled. Like I said, you sitting up there trying to attack somebody. Like I said, that was really weak. But I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I believe I'm just gonna keep it a buck. I believe somebody told Tank to type that. And I wouldn't be surprised if it was, and I'm just gonna say the dude's name. I don't usually say no names, but to me, this got Ellie Setback written all over it. He might have told Tank or somebody from Tank's team to type that, because that just didn't sound like something Tank would say. Now we all know that Ellie Setback has this war going on with Team Haney, with Beal. Now I was told how this stuff started, but at the end of the day, they should have tried to talk it out. And then I saw Ellie was trolling. I'm just gonna say this, I met Ellie. I actually like Ellie, but then that's not gonna deter me from just calling Ellie out on this bullshit. Because Ellie coming across as being, kind of on some DJ Blad stuff, where he's sitting up here instigating and he playing these two black fighters against each other. Ellie Setback has to understand something. When you do the stuff that you do, it looked like you instigating. It looked like you trying to play two black fighters up against each other. And I'm gonna say this much: people ain't gonna continue to pay top dollar to see Tank continue to fight the dudes that he's fighting. Okay, you've been hearing that Frank Martin may be in the mix. You may be hearing that Isaac Cruz is in the mix. I don't think he gonna fight Shakur Stevenson anytime soon. And then based off what happened with Shakur Stevenson is just gonna have to walk it back. And Shakur Stevenson, and I'm gonna say this again, Shakur Stevenson is gonna have to just suck it up and just come to grips that he had a bad outing. He need to redeem himself. It was a terrible fight. People was bored, and at the end of the day, it wasn't all Shakur Stevenson's fault. I'll tell Shakur, it wasn't just your fault. It was the other dude's fault too, because he was lackadaisical at times, just sitting up there waiting for one moment to land a big punch to try to end the fight. Say what you want to say. At least Regis was still coming forward for the most part, trying to engage with Devin, and it was a great fight. And my thing is, where did this stuff Devin Haney is a born fighter come from? That Lomachenko fight was a great fight. It was a good strategic fight. Devin provides enough action to where you don't end up booing. People make it look like Devin Haney don't throw no punches. You know what I'm saying? He gave us enough action to keep us satisfied. He gave us bang for our buck. The funny thing is with Tank, a lot of times Tank don't initiate action. Tank is more of a counter puncher. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that's pretty much what it means. Yeah, that's pretty much what it means, the boring black fighter. But like I said, the people that's been pushing this black fighters don't sell is black fighters themselves. Your guy Al Haymon and Floyd Mayweather. But then again, like I said, Floyd would rather fight these overmatched Mexicans that he know that he has, basically, where it's pretty much for the most part it's a mismatch, where Floyd pretty much 9 out of 10 is going to win the fight, and he's going to win the fight going away. Now, Madonna surprised people because he put up a great and valid effort. To be honest with you, Floyd damn near lost that fight to Madonna. I watched that Madonna fight like about 3 or 4 times. It was 2 rounds that Floyd had to rally and steal that basically, to me, gave him the nod. I had Floyd winning the first Madonna fight 7-5. The second fight, I had it like 9-3 for Floyd. Maybe worst case scenario, 8-4 Floyd. But like I said, this has been the moniker with the PBC. Nobody wants to talk about this. It's funny how people accuse Floyd Mayweather of not wanting to fight black fighters, but at the same time, Al Haymon don't like to he don't like to headline black versus black fighters unless it's absolutely necessary. And if Paru Nepaberry, you know what I'm saying? So I mean, what am I missing here? What am I missing here? I see nobody can tell me that I'm lying. And listen, to you Mexicans that watch my channel and follow my channel, ain't nobody insulting y'all. They have great Mexican fighters. Some of the best fighters that ever walked the face of the earth were Mexican fighters. Ricardo Lopez, Salvador Sanchez, the great Salvador Sanchez, the great Ricardo Lopez. Guys like that. Oscar, he was good, but I thought Oscar was a little overrated because Oscar, towards the tail end of his career, every big fight he was in, he started to lose. So I'm just keeping it a buck. Y'all know I've been real high on David Benavidez for the last 3 to 4 years. Yeah, they did drag their feet to bit because once again, you heard those excuses. Oh, well, we don't know if we have the money for Terrence Crawford. We don't want to make him a offer that's a soda, but they found $100 million to give the Conor McGregor. They keep finding 30, 40, 50 million to give Canelo. And I'm gonna tell you true. Quiet as kept, Canelo fights ain't been selling that good. Canelo versus Charlo didn't sell that good. Not by Canelo standards. Like I said, they don't have no problem. And like I said, it's funny the Demetrius Andre David Benavidez fight after people calling out the PBC for not featuring black fighters on a lot of their pay-per-views, then they finally decide to do it. Yeah, close to when they finna lose their deal with Showtime. There you have it. Case closed, dropping the mic. This is just too easy. Like I said, I know Boxing Ego, shout out to my guy Boxing Ego, say that he's the best in the business, but I'm one of the hardest working dudes when I cover these fights. Keep in mind, I have a 9 to 5, but this weekend, when I covered the Devin Haney versus Regis Prograis fight. I put up like 30 something videos. I spent all day Sunday editing and putting together them videos. You know what I'm saying? I work hard when I do this and I take it seriously. But at the end of the day, one of these things about media, they don't give you the free will to speak, in particularly the PBC. Because like I said, those fighters are straight, Ralph Tresvant, Tito Jackson, sensitive. Listen, everybody got to show some sensitivity and some human emotion every once in a while. But damn, when you just get triggered saying, hey, I saw so-and-so's fight, he got hit a little too much. These dudes get mad. They start lashing out. They start cussing you out. They start threatening you and all that kind of stuff. I'm just like, man, you got to be kidding me. But like I said, that's the PBC moniker. That's how they roll. This is how they treat black people, black media, black fighters. So like I said, if you want to know where a lot of this started, which led to some of those Mexicans and non-black fighters and promoters and trainers believing that black versus black fights don't sell, it started with Floyd Mayweather. And then a lot of those Hispanics started to believe it, and they started, if you see something so much, you actually start to believe it. But then the highest grossing fights in history involve black fighters, black versus black fighters. Some of the most successful and most talked about fights involve black fighters. From Hearns versus Leonard won, Ali Frazier won, Ali Foreman, there was never a rematch, even though George Foreman tried, Sugar Ray Leonard versus Hearns won. So I'm just saying, Mike Tyson versus Lennox Lewis, Mike Tyson versus Holyfield. So how is it that black fighters don't sell? But like I said, that was what Floyd was doing, and that's why Floyd never really tried to. That's one of the main reasons why Floyd never tried to go for undisputed, because he knew eventually he would have had to try to fight some of these black fighters. He would have had to try, and he knew that he could sell tickets by being a heel or quote unquote a bad guy, talking a whole bunch of shit and fighting these overmatched, primarily Mexican fighters, and staying away from the brothers. Even Kenny Porter called Floyd out for doing that. Shout out to my man Kenny Porter, man. Shout out to my man Kenny Porter, because he was one of the very few people that called Floyd out for doing that. Now, I didn't have conversations with Kenny Porter about certain stuff. Now, I can't talk about everything, but, me and Kenny had a conversation about this about 3 years ago. And Floyd made it bad. Floyd made the market bad. Floyd made it look like there was this disbelief that black versus black fighters couldn't sell, because he was putting that out there. Just keeping it a buck. In between 2010 and, let me see, between 2010 and 2016, which I think was Floyd's last fight. I think that was his last fight. Or 2015 was Floyd's last fight. Floyd only fought really two black fighters, Andre Berto and Sugar Shane Mosley. Okay, there. Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it, Hamza. That's it. I don't really count Miguel Cotto. I mean, if you want to count Miguel Cotto, I mean, Miguel Cotto got melanin in him, but he's Puerto Rican. But I don't know if he identifies as black. But you got to put Miguel Cotto in the Latino category, the Hispanic category, and that just proves my point. So Floyd started pushing that line. Because at the end of the day, you might make a case that he just didn't believe he could beat all those fighters, like, Paul Williams at the time, who was hot. Even closing his career out, Sean Porter and guys like that. So the person you need to look at who been pushing this line that black fighters don't sell is Al Haymon and Floyd Mayweather. They got together and they orchestrated this stuff, but then, like I said, you guys don't want to hear the truth, and it was done right before your eyes. It was done right before your eyes. That's why Floyd kept saying that stuff. And like I said, I thought it was disgusting when Floyd wore that Mexican apparel to fight Oscar De La Hoya. You black. You probably had never set foot in Mexico till you became a professional fighter. Don't know nothing about being Mexican. I just thought that was a disgrace. Ali would have never did anything like that. Sugar Ray Leonard never did nothing like that. Larry Holmes never did nothing like that. But then you sit up there and do that and disrespect your race like that. So like I said, so once again, for you super pro-black militant niggas, the one you need to be barking at and looking at how all this black don't sell stuff started with Al Haymon and Floyd Mayweather. Their master plan to put Floyd in the ring with these overmatched Latinos, and basically Floyd dominated him and beat him soundly. Floyd knew he could beat all those dudes. After Floyd became Floyd Money Mayweather, right title, because it was all about the money. And what he would do is he'd play this bad guy role. He'd play this unlikable dude to where you don't like him so much to where you would pay money to see him lose. But then he would basically sell each fighter as that one guy who might could be the dude that could crack the Mayweather code. He'd always be saying that in a lot of his fights. Oh, crack the Mayweather code and stuff. Floyd would watch tape of those fights, even though Floyd would say he didn't watch tape. Floyd, stop it. You would watch tape. Stop it. When I hear fighters say, oh, I don't watch tapes, man, dude, you watch tape. It's cap. So now Floyd then passed that on to Tank. He didn't pass that blueprint on to Tank. Who was the last brother that Tank fought? I'm just trying to think. When was the last time Tank fought a brother? I mean, Rolly, you have a question mark around that. You have a question mark around that. But Rolly's Latino name helped sell that fight. And that's why they had it in Brooklyn. That's why they had it in Brooklyn. Because of the large Hispanic population. Like some people think Rolly is Puerto Rican, but he not. Rolly is Cuban and black. I've seen his father, and by the way, his father is a nice man. Met his mother. His mother's a nice woman. But I'm just saying, they built that fight around Rolly being Latino, not being black. That's how the PBC roll. So excluding Rolly, besides that, who was the last black fighter that he fought? Tank, that is. Yeah, exactly, Jannard. Exactly. He was black enough to kind of satisfy us and Hispanic enough to make people tune in to watch the fight and buy the fight. And then the thing is with Tank need to understand something. Tank touched 1 million for the first time. I think Tank versus Devin Haney would do over 1 million pay-per-views. Devin Haney has the popularity now. He proved he could sell out an arena. Doesn't matter how much his tickets cost. Tank. Just saying. Well, I mean, I mean, to be honest with you, Isaac Cruz, if he would have had both of his hands, he would have knocked Isaac Cruz out in probably 6 rounds. He only had one good hand. But if they fight again, he gonna knock Isaac Cruz out within 4 or 5 rounds. And if not, he gonna drop him multiple times to a 12th round decision. But I'm just trying to tell you, this is what the PBC been doing, and I appreciate y'all for having this conversation and understand where I'm going with this. I produce nothing but facts. I don't even have to go into my computer or my phone to take notes because I can talk off the top of my head because I've seen this so many times. I've seen this so many times with them. So it doesn't surprise me. It doesn't surprise me that they're lowballing Devin Haney. But like I said, the next time I talk to Bill, I'm gonna tell Bill flat out, don't take no fake ass deal, and don't let Tank Davis stipulate you and pimp you into no fake bullshit deal just to get a fight. Do not be thirsty and desperate for a fight to where you agree to any and everything. Well, we about to find out how they handle this Amazon deal. We about to find out shortly. Is it gonna be the same thing where they gonna be twiddling their thumbs to make certain fights? But like I said before, we all know that Al Nim talked Frank Martin out of that fight. We all know that they interfered and talked him out of that fight, saying, "Okay, well just don't do this fight, and we'll give you Tank. We'll see can we give you Tank somewhere down the line." Well, I expected them to put up roadblocks because that's how they get down. That's how they get down. If they ain't fighting some Hispanic fighter, because like I said before, what is so special about Isaac Cruz? Isaac Cruz was a dude emergency replacement. Isaac Cruz is yet to headline his own fight. He's still fighting on undercards. He just got lucky with the Tank fight. And that's it. That's all. But you see, Isaac Cruz, he turned down a fight with Shakur Stevenson. Um, he gets smoked by Devin Haney. Get smoked because Tiafimo is tricky. And my thing is, you got these people like Tank and some of these people talked about they believe that Devin Haney lost to Lomachenko. My thing is, why wouldn't you fight? Why wouldn't you fight Lomachenko? Oh yeah. At the time, your promoter said they're not gonna make another promotional company great. Whatever the hell's that mean? I think they didn't believe Tank could beat Lomachenko. I believe Tank could beat Lomachenko, but I think Floyd didn't think Tank could beat Lomachenko. But Tank is yet to fight Lomachenko. Tank could fight Lomachenko. They could have made that fight years ago. But there you have it. But this is what I've been saying about them. They're gonna try to turn Devin Haney to Ethiopian of the year if they fight. They're gonna stipulate the dude to death. Tank didn't had opportunity after opportunity to fight Lomachenko, and they don't want to make that fight. But then again, I understand because every time they get matched up with a top ranked fighter, they usually get whooped on by the top ranked fighter. You know, So there you have it. Yeah. Now, next time I'll talk to Bill. Bill gonna call me eventually and ask my opinion, and we gonna have a discussion. I already told them what they need to do, and I'm going to remind Bill again. Bill listened to me on something I suggested, and it turned out very well for them. So, you know, appreciate you, Bill, for giving me my props, man. But anyway, I got to get ready for bed. Appreciate you guys. Be back with more tomorrow.